Hey, welcome back to my blog. Sorry I'm kind of dressed this way, but I just got back from physical therapy on, like I said on that last blog, had a knee accident, so we'll be back to normal. But I've had a lot of you ask me about why does it take so long to get from a contract to closing and what's everything that takes place in between. We've got multiple things that happen. One is you have to get your loan and you got to get that approved. The second thing is we get the termite inspection done. Third thing is we need to get the appraisal done. Fourth thing is we need to get survey, title. Yeah, the title work. That's why you're here.
Yes.
Yeah, Shane's with the Nebraska Land Title and Abstract, and I couldn't do what I do without these guys. These guys, there's a whole host of them. You have when I send in a contract, you guys get the contract. And then it goes to, walk me through the process. It goes from my office, comes over to you guys.
It goes to the title department where they search the property, search the names that are associated with the transaction, and then...
Now when you say search the names, where do they search those names at?
They search it on whatever county the property's in, they search that county for it, and then they also search like the federal stuff too.
So if you're in trouble and you got any federal liens, she's the one that's going to find out about it. So it goes into title process. Title will then search it down at the courthouse or with the state and with the federal to see if there's any child support liens, any tax liens, anything of that nature, because our goal is to make sure that the seller can give a good clean title to the buyer and the buyer doesn't have to worry anything about it.
That's right.
Okay, so once we have the title commitment, that tells us what you have to do then to proceed to closing, right? Okay. And then in the title binder, it's going to have the payoff for the mortgage, for the existing mortgage that's on there. It may have other things like the child support we talked about. What's one of the weirdest things you've ever seen on there?
Oh, goodness. I don't know about weirdest, but there's liens that we see on there that are like 30 years old that we have to hunt down releases on. So those are probably some of the...
What do you do if the bank that was supposed to file the release isn't in business anymore?
Oh, we have to research and find out who took that loan over.
So there's always going to be somebody in the line to be able to give us a release on that mortgage. And if by chance there's not, then we got to go to a court to judge.
Then we'll take it to our legal counsel here and ask him what his opinion, he can look into it and kind of see what's going on there and determine whether or not, because it's dormant, but we need to have releases because that's part of providing the clear title.
So then you can do what's called insure over it.
Yeah.
You can make the decision to go, you know what, it's old enough, we're not worrying about it, we'll go ahead and insure
yes.
over it. Okay. And then in the case of child support, we see that every once in a while. They either have to show proof that they've been paying child support through the court systems.
Yes.
Or they have to come up with canceled checks showing where they've paid the child support, or they have to get...
We actually have to get it if there's child support there, we have to go to the state to get the payoff. They have to provide it and they have to be able to show us, what the status is of the child support.
Proof that it's been taken care of.
When we get the title from our title department, it will tell us if they're in arrears or not, but it's our job to then go to the state and say, what is the payoff? Because we have to pay that off at closing.
Yeah. And then, so once we get all the title taken care of, then at that point in time, you guys can do what we call balance. You get with the buyer's lender, and you guys work up what the final figures are going to be, and you take out all the costs for the title insurance, for the survey, for the appraisal, for the bank fees, all those kind of things, and then you balance, and then they balance, and then you guys get together and make sure that the figures all correct.
Yes.
Okay. And then happy day, we get to close, right? Yeah, and we're doing one this afternoon, so we'll have the sellers already signed their deed set. You get that done ahead of time. Now, elderly sellers have a problem with this area. Why do I have to sign now? Why can't I be at closing and sign?
It's not customary in Nebraska to do it that way. I know that we used to do it that way, but we haven't done it that way in a long time. So Some sellers, they don't want to sign the deed too far ahead of time. So if we have title a month before closing and we're ready to prepare those papers for the seller to sign, they don't have to, we'll call them, they don't have to sign it at that time. They could come the day of if they want to. It just makes it a little bit.
A lot easier for you to put all the paperwork
it's a
together.
lot easier to have it all done ahead of time.
Because you got to see the mound of paperwork, you know, in order to close on a transaction. So.
And the deed, what I explain, if a seller doesn't want to sign that, you know, too early or, you know, too far before closing, I'll just have them, I'll explain to them that the deed cannot be filed until it actually closes. So that's usually one of the big concerns, is that, hey, if I'm signing this deed now, then the property isn't mine anymore. No, it doesn't. We can't do anything with the paperwork unless the transaction closes. So
Cool. Awesome. I could not literally do what I do without these guys. These guys are the best of the best. One of the reasons I'm successful is because I surround myself with good quality people, and you guys are awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for doing what you do, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.